Everyone in Greentown thought Jack loved the environment. He always talked about protecting the earth. He watched videos about climate change every day. He read many books. He even learned 20 difficult English expressions about the environment. "There is nobody greener than me," Jack always said proudly. His neighbors smiled. "Let's see." Every Monday morning, Jack said he wanted to reduce carbon emissions and combat climate change. So he bought a beautiful bicycle. Everyone thought he would ride it to work. Instead, he drove his old car. The bicycle stayed in the back of the car. His neighbor asked, "Jack, why don't you ride your bike?" Jack smiled. "If I ride it, I'll be tired before work." The next week, Jack wanted to raise public awareness about protecting the environment. He printed thousands of colorful posters. Every poster said, "Save our planet." He put posters on every wall in town. A little boy asked Jack, "Weren't all these posters made from paper?" Jack looked at the posters and said, "Oops." After that, Jack decided to promote renewable energy. He bought 10 expensive solar panels. Everyone was excited. But when they visited his house, they couldn't find them. "Where are your solar panels?" Jack opened his garage and said, "There." His friend laughed. "Jack, they need sunlight." Jack scratched his head and said, "I thought they worked anywhere." Jack didn't give up. "I will switch to renewable energy," he announced. The next day, he bought 50 candles. His neighbor looked confused. "Jack, candles are not renewable energy." "Oh." A few days later, Jack promised to reduce plastic waste. He carried 5 reusable shopping bags to the supermarket. The cashier smiled. "What a responsible customer." Then Jack bought 20 plastic bottles, 30 plastic cups, 40 plastic spoons, and a huge plastic dinosaur. "I saved the bags," Jack said proudly. The cashier said nothing. Jack then wanted to encourage recycling. He found one big recycling bin. He threw everything inside: paper, glass, plastic, pizza, banana peels, dirty socks, and his old shoes. The recycling workers looked inside the bin. One of them sighed. "I think Jack needs another lesson." The following weekend, Jack wanted to conserve water. He proudly told everyone, "My showers are only 2 minutes long." Everyone clapped. Then they saw him washing his car for 3 hours with a garden hose. His neighbor asked, "Is that saving water?" Jack looked at his shiny car and said, "I forgot." One Saturday, Jack joined a volunteer group to plant more trees and restore natural habitats. Everyone worked hard. Some people planted 20 trees. Some planted 30. Jack planted 1 tree. Then he spent an hour taking selfies with it. When he finished, he accidentally sat on the little tree. Oh no! The next month, Jack visited a school. He gave a speech about how important it is to protect endangered species and preserve biodiversity. A little girl raised her hand. "What can we do to help animals?" Jack smiled confidently. "We should never throw rubbish into rivers or forests." "Great." Another student asked, "What's your favorite endangered animal?" Jack thought for a long time. Then he answered, "A dinosaur." The classroom became very quiet. Then everyone laughed. Jack decided that people should use public transport more often. So he organized a meeting about buses and trains. Everyone arrived by bus. Everyone except Jack. He drove his car. "There weren't enough parking spaces," someone said. Jack smiled. "I came early." Later, Jack opened a small cafe. He wanted to minimize food waste. Unfortunately, he cooked food for 100 customers every day. Only 10 customers came. Every evening, he threw away 90 meals. His cook asked Jack, "Is this reducing food waste?" Jack slowly shook his head. Jack wanted his cafe to be greener. He promised to reduce the use of single-use plastics. Customers were happy. Then every drink came with 2 plastic straws, a plastic spoon, a plastic lid, and a plastic toy. People looked at each other. Is this a joke? Jack also wanted to source locally produced food. He proudly put up a sign. Local food. One customer looked at the menu. The apples come from our town. Good. The bread comes from our town. Very good. The bananas come from the other side of the world. Jack smiled. They were on sale. At the end of the year, Jack stood in the town square. He said proudly, I have finally adopted an eco-friendly lifestyle. Everyone clapped. Then they noticed something strange. Jack's house was empty. But the lights were on. The television was on. The air conditioner was on. The fan was on. Jack quickly continued his speech. We must all lower greenhouse gas emissions. His neighbor pointed at Jack's old car. Black smoke was coming out of it. Jack looked embarrassed. He continued, we should protect natural resources. Just then, he threw an empty plastic bottle into the river by mistake. He quickly picked it up. Sorry. Finally, Jack said, and we must always dispose of waste responsibly. Everyone smiled. This time, Jack walked to the nearest rubbish bin. He carefully threw away his bottle. Then he looked around and asked, did I do it right? His neighbors laughed. Yes, Jack. For the first time today. Jack smiled. Maybe he wasn't the world's best environmental hero. But finally, he was learning.